Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to do a cute little Halloween card, and it is inspired by this cute die set called Halloween Sunday Drive. Now, before we get started, I want you to be aware that this is an add-on. So the add-on includes things that are specific to this holiday. So in this particular instance, we are doing a Halloween Sunday Drive, but in order to get the car, you're going to need to have the Sunday Drive die set. So this is what's going to have your car and all of the little, bumpers, lights, all the little goodies. So if you have this is kind of like the base set. Then you can get little add-ons for this set, and again, we're going to be doing the little Halloween one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a lot of little pieces. I also have a really pretty embossing folder. This was the embossing folder of the month from Spellbinders. They sent this over to me in August, and I didn't end up using it, but this is the August embossing folder of the month. But I really liked the shape here, and I thought this could be a really fun embossing folder for this particular card. So we're going to use that today as well. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab some dies and begin cutting out some little pieces. Now, I like to keep this handy because I like to use it as a guide if I don't have, another idea that I want to run with. But let's go ahead and start cutting. I have a little piece of white paper. I also went ahead and grabbed my tiny little die cut machine. It's just a little mini guy because we're going to do a lot of tiny little cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this little skeleton, put a little cutting plate over the top here, and let's send that through and begin this whole process of cutting. All right, so that was fairly easy. And the time you're going to spend is going to be in the cutting here. Once you have everything cut out, then you're just going to zoom through it. But how cute is that little cutie? And of course, we need to go through and get all of the little inside pieces out. But there is our cute little skeleton. And he just, is from the waist up because he's just going to be sitting in that little car there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead off camera and run through all my other little pieces and decide on some paper colors, and then we'll start building this card. Okay, I have everything cut out, and I just placed everything in a little dish here. That way I could get an idea of what I'm collecting and I don't lose anything. So I'm just gonna pour all this out. We are going to do a lot of gluing next. So let me just kind of categorize some of my pieces. And I know all of this is going to build up my actual car. And once I have everything all organized, I feel like it'll be a little bit easier. This is my steering wheel to start constructing. So those little pieces go bye-bye. And I think this is going to be super cute. I love stuff like this. I've said this in many videos that cards like this make me so happy because I don't get to spend some still time very often. So these give me a little excuse just to be still and enjoy a process. Okay, so I think I have what I need here. Again, lots of little pieces. I'm trying to categorize just a little bit so it's easy to grab and go. Got some more car pieces, and I think I also need these little headlights. Okay, for the most part, we are set to start. So let's go ahead. I think it'd be wise just to start building the car first. And I'm going to keep this off to the side once again. That way I can get an idea of what I need to be doing here. It's going to take a little bit of work. Okay, so I think I'll start building from the car up first, and then we'll build from the car back second. That makes sense to me. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm going to start with this little piece as my base, and I'm going to do everything that goes on top of it, and then we'll kind of build backwards and start adding our people. All right, let's grab some glue. I'm going to be using this Barely Art glue. Really like it. It has a nice precision tip. What I think I'll do first is add my little Hey Boo license plate. Now, they have two different options here. You could do Hey Boo or you could do Be Spooky. I really liked the Hey Boo. I thought it was super cute, so that's where I went. But again, you do have a little option there. Okay, I'm going to add my glue here. Being careful. That's about right. A couple to those middle pieces just to get those to stay down. And then I'll just center that. Because it's a liquid glue, I can just shift that into position. Okay, so there is our cute little license plate, and that's already ready to go. Now, something I noticed here is that this has a little flap. So I wonder if in other situations you could have like an open trunk, which would be super cute because you could have it kind of open and then have things within the trunk. That would be super cute. All right, I just noticed that, so that's kind of fun. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, I'll do everything on the back of here, and I think having some tweezers will behoove me here because everything is so teeny tiny. Sometimes if you can remove your fingers from the situation with tiny pieces, you get some better placement because you get better line of sight. Okay, I'm using all Concord 9th colored cardstock, which I'll link down below, as well as everything else I'm using to bring this cute card together. But I went with a nice lilac for the car. I thought that would be super cute. It's proving to be very cute. Okay, now I think I'll move on right to this little bumper here. Okay, so I think I'll even just put that right in the center and focus my glue maybe towards the top because I think, oh, actually it's going to go, the bumper's going to pretty much go in its entirety on this back piece of paper. Okay, this is the way that it is going to face. And I think I can bring that down a little bit. It looks like it's kind of resting on the bottom. Again, I'm just following the guide. But you don't have to, you can make up your own rules, but it looks like it's kind of resting on the bottom there. Okay, very cute. All right, now what I think I'll do to keep this from popping open, oh, it's kind of actually, you know, it's gonna be fine, but what I'll do is grab just a little bit of this tape, and I'm just gonna keep this closed. That way the trunk doesn't pop open on this card in particular. That would be super cute on another card if I had more of an idea of what I wanted to do there though. All right, let's add, I said I was gonna build up, but since we're here, we might as well put the little wheels on because it's too easy not to. I don't know which direction these go. I think it's this. That should be about right. So I think if I just do a little glue here and let's see, maybe there. It's super cute. You can just wiggle that, kind of get that in the right spot, and then I'm going to press that down, making sure that's straight. Okay, looks good. Oops, got a little extra glue. So what I like to do is I grab my little wand here. I grab the non-sticky side. It's kind of like a pokey tool, but it's not because it has like a little tiny like circular tip to it. I grab that side and then I just swipe that glue away. Okay, in fact there was a little glue residue on there because I must have done that recently and not cleaned that off. All right, so that looks good. I'll do the same to this side. And I'm wondering if it might be easier for me just to kind of place it on like this. I think I got that pretty centered in terms of even with the other one. Oop, it's a little bit difficult. Okay, I think that looks good. Cute little tires. Let that set. Okay, the next pieces are the little lights. So So these definitely need a little tweezer because they are itty bitty. And what I think I'll do here is, because there's not a lot of room for that glue, what I'll do is I'll just kind of tap that so that it doesn't leak out everywhere. Makes it just a little bit tacky. I'll place it there. That way the glue doesn't come out from the sides, because there's really not a lot of place for that glue to go, but out. Okay, I think that looks nice. And then I'll do the same thing to this side. Oh my goodness, teeny tiny. There we go. See that little thing? Okay, so add just a little glue, and then I'm going to just kind of dab it just make it tacky. Place that here. All right. Now I think that is almost it for teeny tiny pieces. I mean, of course we have more to go, but I think everything else is going to seem a tad bit more manageable. Now I'm going to just put tiny dabs of glue within those little light openings, and then grab with my little wand here. I decided to do more of a pink light. You could do red, of course. You could even do orange, which I think is on the example. But I grabbed, I think this is honeysuckle. Thought that would be really pretty. Okay. Okay, I think the next step here is going to be adding this little seat on the inside. And I went with just a nice gray. I'm trying to think if this is pebble. I think this is pebble in terms of color. And I'm going to add just a little thin bit right there. Okay, so now we're going to start building behind the card. Or I'm sorry, the car. Used to saying building the card, but in this case we're building a little car for our card. Okay, I'm going to get that situated just so. I think that looks good. And I'm going to shift it over just a little bit. I think I got it a little bit too far to the left, so thank goodness for liquid glue, because that was easy peasy. And there we go. Okay, I think I'm going to start doing the little window frame, even though this is not going to go on the car for a minute. I want to get this all put together. So I don't know that it matters which way the little light tabs go, does it? Maybe they both go up? Or is it like that? I think it's more out. Let's see if it makes sense. Actually, it kind of makes sense that it would go down, because then it doesn't interfere as much with that little opening. So I'm just going to make that decision. I'm going to have, and what I mean by that is these little pieces, I'm going to have the little hook, if you will, go down. But you can do it however you want. There's no wrong answers. As long as it glues together, you're good to go. So I'm going to put the lights, I think, here. And I don't think there's any additional pieces for these lights. Or these mirrors. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Can you tell I'm not a automotive girl? I'm in the minivan stage of, we are in the stage of having lots of kids in the car right now. So I have lovingly called my car the party bus. That's what we call it. And that is pretty fitting for this stage of motherhood. We're just always on the go. Okay, I think those look good. Oh, darn it. Hold on, I gotta redo that one. I went a little too far. That happens. Trying to center it with the other side. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I think I'll do my little witch. And, oh my goodness, where is her skin? Am I missing a piece? I feel like I had it here too. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. These are so small that it's easy to lose things. So I love that she has like a little boat neck shirt. I think that is so fun. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue here to the skin. The skin I cut out of Nectar. And then of course I just used black for the shirt. Okay, that looks good. I need a stamp block to just help press those pieces down. There we go. All right, now we're gonna do her hair, and I think it's literally gonna be held on by this little neck piece. Eek! But later on, we'll glue it to the little frame of the car. But for now, it's just gonna kind of just be placed there. Let's make sure it's straight. And we have a little hat. Now her hat, I went ahead and cut out, oh my gosh, that's cute. I cut out a tiny little band for the hat, and I don't know that it was made for the witch hat, but I wanted to have a little pop of color on it because we're going to have a little band on the little top hat. And I'm going to have her hat kind of tilt a little bit to the side. Just ever so slightly. Okay, now the band that I'm just going to, let's see, how do I want to do that? Gosh, these pieces, I thought I was done with the teeny tiny ones, but I spoke too soon because these little bands are going to be tiny. I want that to go right about there. Okay, so I'll just add glue here, and I can do that little tap off, little dab. That way that glue doesn't seep out, especially on black cardstock. I feel like that's tricky. You can kind of see like a residue there. All right, I need to nudge that just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we got her little hat. She's adorable. And we can build, oh, you know what? She has a little broom. So I need that too. So this and this little piece go together. And I think it goes, the little stick is going to go right over the bristles. Turn it just a little bit so I can see. Plop that down, and I might just put the brick on. There we go. Make sure that dries in the way that I want it to. I'm liking how this is looking. A lot of glue seeping out there, but it was kind of hard not to. And I think this actually attaches to her. So, I'm wondering if I should do that now or in a second. I'm kind of thinking in a second. Okay, so now we have this little cutie guy, and we need to put his hat on. So it's this piece. And I'll just add glue to the top of his little head here. You could do two skeletons in the car. That would be cute, like a girl and a boy. But I liked the skeleton in the little witch costume. That was super cute. Okay, I like his hat. Centered on his head a little bit. And then, just like the last one, we're going to do the little band. So a tad bit of glue. Tap, tap. Just get it tacky enough and place that down. Pretty. Okay. So now, in order to make your card really cohesive and have it just blend really well together, just pick, a handful of cardstocks and keep everything, keep all of your cuts within those colors. So again, I went with like a lilac, a honeysuckle, and then mushroom was the color of the gray. And then I just kind of put those all throughout, this whole project. I did bring in some additional color, but in the same kind of tones for this little foliage that's going to be decorating the back little area of the car. But I think it all works really well. All right, I think it's time to add our little people to the car, and you know, I think well, it looks like they're kind of down a little bit. Again, you can make up your own rules, but it looks like that's kind of how they are. And I might have them sit just a tad closer. Something like that. Okay, I like this. So what I'll do is I'm going to add him first. And I'm just adding glue to his body. And then what I'll do is bring the car up and kind of place it right on him to glue him down. So now we're building underneath. Okay, don't stick to the mat. There we go. Now we have her. So I'm going to add just a little bit here because I'm not sure how I want to place her. I'm thinking like that. Okay, they're cute. So super cute. All right, and then that is where the little window, the French window shield is going to be. But before that, I need to add the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is essentially going to be glued to this little guy. Make it so that we can see some of those. Let's see. Where's 10 and 2? Where's 10 and 2? I want to see some of the little pieces there. I think that kind of looks nice. Okay, so I think this actually has to go down. Well, it can do whatever. Okay, I like that. Is that how I had it? Yep, okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the middle and glue that down because, you know, it's going to be sandwiched in here so much that one little dot of glue is just going to be fine to position that there, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, add my block for some pressure. Bring this tool in and just remove some of that glue. This might be my favorite tool ever because once you remove that glue, it's like it never happened. All right, the only other thing that I think is necessary here is putting the broom in. Okay, so let's add it to the little base of the stick. And I think that is perfect. All right, everybody's in the car. Everybody and their accessories. Now we're going to add the front windshield. Perfect. So essentially the glue would just go here, right? Yeah. There we go. And I love this. That is so cute. I get as much as that windshield as I can. Bring that up. How adorable. I love that. All right. So we have our little car. Now from here, let's see, the bats go in the background, but this little foliage piece is going to kind of span. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little glue here. Do you see how this isn't really connected? I'm going to add some glue to the back of this little skeleton head and connect it to the windshield. So this is what the back of it's going to look like. Okay. And I'll do the same for her, although she's actually pretty sturdy. She's good to go. Okay, now that looks a little bit less flimsy. Okay, I went ahead and cut out multiple little pieces of these little foliage pieces because I thought it'd be fun to kind of really layer here and have fun with that. So I'm going to start maybe at the sides, but what I'll do is switch the colors around because I like the orange on top. So my purples will go at the end. I'm going to start at the end and go out because you want to start with your bottom layer first, right? So these little pieces are going to be at the bottom. And I like the idea of them, you know, going off and over, just like that. Okay, so I'll do that to this side. The little purples. This color is Fig, I believe. Is this Fig? I think so. I don't work with a lot of purple, so the color names escape me. I have to really think about it. Okay, I think that looks really good. So then I'll go on to the orange. And I'm just going to kind of add it to the little bases there, because then they can kind of fluff out from there. So I'll do that. Now what I'll do is I'm going to put this piece down. But maybe go up a little bit and then have this one go maybe down a little bit. That way it's just really, yeah, I like that. I like how that's going to be just really kind of full. Just a little bit of layering fun there. Okay, now this is where the little skeletons can have some fun being just little pieces on the back. So we'll put one there. I'm just going to add a lot of glue there, stick it down, and just use this little piece to kind of get that straight. How cute. These are so fun. And these little faces, they just have like little debossed little elements inside. I think that's really cute. Okay, the next one will just go here. Okay. And you know what, you can do your own thing. Whatever you want to do. I really like how that looks. And finally, let's see, here. All right, how cute is that? I think that's fun. Okay, we are good to go with this element. Now, oh, those are fun. That is the final little look. Isn't that cute? Now we're going to do our card base. I have all of the little bats here. And like I said, I want to do some embossing, but I'm going to need a bigger machine to do that because I want to use this folder. Before anything else, let me bring in an A2 panel. Done with these. And A2 is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I'm going to trim that down a little further. So I'm going to trim it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I'm going to get an idea for how that's going to look. I think that's going to look nice. Okay, before I place this in my embossing folder, I'm going to take a little baby wipe and just wet down the surface. Just make it a little bit damp. And that just kind of prepares the paper to be embossed, makes it a little bit more flexible. And because we have some lines present in this design, I'm going to be careful to line up my embossing folder just so. Okay, I'm going to close that, and then I can run this through my Spellbinders. Okay, I have my Platinum 6 and my base here. And let's see how we do with just a standard cutting plate. I think that's gonna work. I have to really kind of test out different sandwiches based on the embossing folder that is in front of me. All right. Oh, that is really neat. I love that. Look at that. I like that, and I think it's really appropriate for this card. And appropriate in the fact that, you know, this isn't screaming spooky or Halloween, but it just fits with the whole vibe of the card. So I like that. All right, I am going to, let me do my card base really quickly, because then we're going to start really making this bulky with the rest of our stacked elements. So I want to get this on a card base first and foremost. So for a card base, that will mean bringing in my little score buddy and then 110-pound cardstock. So far I've been working with 80-pound cardstock for my panel. And because I have this sized at 11 by 4 1/4, I will place my score mark right at 5 1/2, and this will give me a top folding A2 card. Okay, let's open that up, place some magnets down, secure that while we're working, and I'll add some foam tape to the back of my panel here. I prefer to add the foam tape because no matter how you do it, it's always a tad warped, and there is nothing better than foam tape to just really strengthen it. It's one of my favorite things to do after I emboss a piece of paper. I feel like the foam tape just gives it more support. It's kind of like the brace for the paper at this point, and it makes it just nice and crisp. All right, so now we'll peel this off, place it right on our card. I like this. There you go. It's right on there. Okay, so I'm really loving that. You know, it really isn't a Halloween embossing folder, but that is really giving me like Haunted Mansion vibes, like Disneyland Haunted Mansion. I don't know why. It's the shapes for me, so I'm loving that. Okay. I think what I will do is add a little bit of dimension here. You could just place it right on the card, but I think I'll build it up just a little bit. But let me get an idea also of where I kind of want the additional little elements. So I'm thinking we'll do maybe this, and then one more over here. Or should we do another big one over here? Maybe even bring it down a little bit. This could actually move up. Oh no, I don't like that. Okay, maybe bring this up. I actually kind of do like the idea of this dipping down and kind of interacting with them. I think that's actually really cute. And bringing that one up. I just don't want these to look like they're aligned, is my thing. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's it. Okay. The rest will be no more. So I'm going to place, I love that. I'm going to place my card down first, and I'll put some of this foam tape right on the back. So let's see how much I'll need there. About like that. And I feel like this foam tape will just kind of seal all these pieces together. Seals the deal. And I might need to trim that down a little bit. Kind of locks all those little glued pieces in place. So I'm gonna really need to trim that down. A little overzealous there, but I'll use all these little pieces on this card. So that's okay. All right, there we go. And then what I'll do is let's pop up little elements such as the broom. I also want to be careful of, I need to cut that down a little bit more. I was gonna say the mirrors. Okay, let's pay some attention to the wheels. And her little hat. And our skeleton head. And I also want to do something teeny tiny on his hand because that's floating there. I know this seems like a lot, but this is strength. Strength for just little paper goes a long way. So let me just trim and trim. And now we have enough for this hand. Okay, I think that will be good. That looks good. I'm going to trim a little bit more off that hand though. It's just a little much. Good. Okay, I'm going to take all of these little backers right off of my foam tape. This is where a little all is going to come in handy for these little pieces. There we go. It's because they are so teeny tiny. I actually have a little bend in my pokey tool here, and it's really helpful to have because it kind of grabs that liner and brings it right up. So I've never been so happy to have a damaged tool in my craft room because it's really working out for me. Okay, let's go ahead and put this there. I think that looks good. They're cute. Okay, I'm going to press all those little pieces down. And there we go. Our hat though. There we go. Okay. Cute, cute. I love that. All right, I'm going to put these little bats down, and I don't know that I won't add a little shine just because how can you not? But I'm going to put it on there just to see if I like it and give myself the option, just because everything is kind of flat with flat paper, which is not bad, but we have a little bit of opportunity to jazz it up just a bit simply, in a simple way. Okay, so I had that one here. Okay, and then over here. Okay, I am really loving the placement of the bats. All right, let's see about some shine. I'm not convinced, but I'm wanting to see. Okay, I have these little dewdrops, and I feel like they're just the right color. So I want to see if I even like it, and I can already tell that I absolutely do. It is just giving it something shiny because the paper is just so like matte flat, which is fine, but it needs something just to pizzazz it up a little bit. So I think I'll do little trios of 2. Let me grab that one size that I want. I like the idea of doing that. I think that's really fun. Oh, this little mirror. There we go. Okay, I am really liking that, and I think it finishes the card off so nicely. I went from loving the card to loving the card. I think that really did something there. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of generous glue there just because of the embossed pieces that are coming up. I need a little bit of additional glue. This feels like it's loose. There we go. Okay, now I'll add some here. I like the little trio of 2. I think that's really fun. And then finally, right at the bottom. Okay, final card. Super cute. I love that it is so fun for Halloween without being spooky. I think that's fun. Takes a little time, but this is what I call a Gilmore Girl card, or whatever favorite show you have. I love to just put on my favorite music, my favorite show, and just relax and paper piece. It's so fun. I hope this was fun for you to watch. If you did make it this far, please leave a little pumpkin or a bat in the little comment section below the video. That way I know you are tried and true. You're one of my besties because you made it all the way to the end. I am so excited to continue crafting with you. I have so many fun ideas for this fall, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. See you soon.